Hi, everybody. Welcome to this pre-Anaheim 1 press conference for the 250 West Division. Anaheim, of course, is this Saturday night, kicking off round 1 of the 2022 season for the 250 West. It's going to be a fun season. Get a chance to talk to all the riders and get inside their mind before we go racing Saturday. I want to start with Colt Nichols, defending champ on the other coast. Switching to this side, I'll throw a little stat out at you. Grant Langston is the last guy to win both East and West, so it's been a while since someone's had a chance to do that. That opportunity is coming for you starting this Saturday. But Colt, this week's been weird. You're hearing things, you're hearing rumors. No one knows who's riding which coast. For Star Racing Yamaha and the decision to have you start in Anaheim, when was that decision made? When did you find out, and how did you process it?
Actually, it was pretty easy. Pretty easy ordeal, and everyone, I think, kind of the series of events that have unfolded the past like 3 or 4 days have probably kind of had the rumor mill going a little bit, but it was actually always a plan for me to race West. I came to, at the time, Jensen Hindler, and then obviously Jeremy Coker, and we all talked about it, and obviously Brad Hoffman as well. And this was back in maybe November, first part of December. You know, I came to them, I was like, hey, which coast are we doing? Just so I can kind of have an idea. And they wanted to put me West anyway. So that's kind of always been the idea, was for me to race West for whatever reason. I don't know, but it's just what the team wanted to do. And I was all on board. So it's kind of been the plan the whole time. So yeah, everything just kind of fell into place. Then unfortunately, Justin ended up getting injured a few days ago. So yeah, that was unfortunate. But that was always a plan for me to race West Coast this year.
Any thoughts on just the number 1? And I mean, I know you like the 45. That worked out pretty good for you. But not running the 1 this year. Any thoughts on that?
Not necessarily. I mean, I ran it in practice a handful of times and got to do all that. So I kind of got my number 1 fix out of the way a little bit. But yeah, man, I wanted to race, and, you know, I felt like waiting another month or so wouldn't have been too ideal for me. I was ready to go, and the team saw that as well. So I think that's why the decision was made to put me West. So I'm excited, man. Number 1, number 45, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just want to line up and race, and I'm excited to do it this weekend.
Awesome. Jason Wygant, Racer X, why don't you kick it off for us?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Vince Freese. You're back in the 250 class. Can you just explain, first of all, how that decision came to be, and then where do you think you'll fit in? What are your expectations for results?
Yeah, it was kind of a team thing. I think Mike Genova was kind of looking for a bit of a show, and maybe got tired of watching me get 10th place on the 450. So drop down and go race these kids.
How do you think you'll do? Do you have an expectation of where you'll fit in?
I mean, yeah, it's tough. I haven't raced that class in so long. It's hard to really tell where I'll fit in, but I mean, I've been racing the champions of that class week in and week out and beating those guys. So yeah, I think I should be up front for sure.
Thanks.
Michael Antonovich.
Cool. Thank you, Daniel. This one's for Colt Nichols. Just like Daniel alluded to, GL was the last person to do East Coast and West Coast championships. Has that been on your mind? Have you given that any thought at all, or is that not even a factor for you in all of this?
I mean, whenever the team first told me that, you know, they wanted to put me West, that was kind of the thought, you know, was, well, I hadn't been done in a while. That'd be, you know, cool to do it. But at the end of the day, I want to go race and I want to win. You know, I don't care East, West, North, South, whatever. I just want to line up against some good guys and go race. And, you know, I'm excited for this opportunity, and getting a chance to start off at A1 with a normal schedule is going to be pretty cool. But as far as giving it too much thought, not really. You know, I just want to go try to win, and, you know, I don't really care what coast it is. And last year was really great, and yeah, it would have been cool to run the 1E. But overall, I'm happy with where I'm sitting. You know, I'm pumped with where I am with the bike and the team and everything like that. So, man, if we can go make it happen, cool. But I'm going to try, that's for sure.
This is an important year for you because last 250 year. Thoughts on that? And then are you ready to go to the 450 class after that?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously the goal. I want to go out on top and, you know, end this year, last 250 year with a bang. And that 450 class is something fierce. But I'm looking forward to that, man. It's been something I've been wanting to do for a while. And I've kind of, you know, had my fair share of injuries and getting through the 250 class. And it's came to the end of its run. So I'm looking forward to the next chapter and ready to get up there and bang with the big boys. But yeah, it'll be fun, man. I'm looking forward to getting through this year good and healthy, and hopefully add another title. And yeah, taking on the 450 class year after that.
Cool. Thanks, Colt.
Yep.
David Iser.
All right, thanks, Daniel. This one's for Hunter Lawrence. Hunter, all the talk of Jet, and you're carrying the Lawrence flag into Anaheim 1 for the family. So congrats on that.
Thanks.
Hey, with all the injuries that it's well documented over the last several years, you finally get a full shot at Supercross, and you contend last year. I mean, you were a full contention all the way up to the end. So this year, gloves are off. None of that politically correct stuff of, anything other than a title is going to be successful. Is that your mindset going into Anaheim 1?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to a good season just due to the fact I've had, pretty much the whole off season to train. So that's already a huge, big difference for me. But as far as going into it, I mean, I'm not like coming there to, let's see if I can get second again, or let's, try and get third or whatever. I'm going there to fight for a championship, but, I'm not focusing on that all off season. I'm just taking it day by day, making sure I do everything I need to day in, day out to put myself in the best chance to win the title.
And when you found out you were racing the West Coast, what was that second like when that hit you?
Probably not as interesting as some people think. Like it's, oh wow, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it now. It was just a no-brainer. Like, me and Jet were both 100%, and Jet had that little mistake and got hurt, unfortunately. So yeah, why send a guy out at 85% when you have another one at 100? So yeah, it was just a easy switch.
All right, thanks, Hunter.
Thanks.
Revistimoto.
Hey, thank you, Daniel. Hey, this is for Christian Craig. Hey, Christian, you and your fellow riders each talk about the prep and the bike preparation, your training, East Coast, West Coast, and the settings. But when you look at your social media, you have your own set of unique circumstances. You travel with your family, you have little ones. Can you talk a little bit about the sacrifices you have to make as a rider and the challenges that a family and the little ones bring when you're traveling across the country? You're training East Coast, you're traveling, your kids are in school, you're out of school. Can you talk a little bit about that and how it presents a challenge and or the sacrifices that you have to make on top of being a professional elite athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough for all of us, but yeah, I got 3 kids and a newborn. So we just moved to Florida in August, and we had to move right back here in California for 2 months. So it's been a lot. It's been a lot going on, but good thing I got a pretty cool wife that is down for it all and takes care of most of all the stress. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's the life I live, and it's the life I want to live. So it's my dream, and I'm doing everything I can to chase it.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Brad Gephardt.
Thanks, Daniel. Brad Gebhardt, Big MX Radio. This question is for Seth Hamaker. Seth, you had some success last year, but the beginning of your Supercross career, for the most part, has been mired with a little bit of injuries in here or there. So are you 100% coming into this year, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, Supercross last year went really good, and then outdoors, the start of it had some issues, health stuff, but coming in so far, this offseason has been really good, and looking forward to a good season. I'm healthy. I feel ready to go, and I just want to be up there in the fight with all the guys and get on the podium and be up there fighting for wins. And I think that'll get myself some good results. So I'm excited for this season.
You've been out of sight, out of mind a little bit recently. Do you think that's a little bit of an advantage for you, sort of coming in under the radar?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think just kind of doing my thing, not worrying about what anyone's thinking, and just putting in my work and putting in my laps this off season. And we worked really hard, so I feel like just let that confidence roll into this to A1 and the rest of the season, and I feel like we'll be in a good spot.
Mitch Kendrick.
Hey, Mitch Kendrick from Racer X. My question's for Joe Shimoda. So Joe, obviously we saw a lot of growth out of you last year in Supercross with the win, and then obviously motocross as well. Can you talk about, is there anything like specific that you've done? I know you kind of talked about you wanted to ride your full potential every day, and then you kind of talked about wanting to make mistakes. So is that kind of just pushing yourself the extra level, or can you point to anything specific that made you really, take that next level and the next step?
Yeah, well, last year, like even before season start, I didn't really have much time to prepare. So I honestly only rode a month and a little bit before the race, but this year we were able to start the preparation way earlier, almost more than 2.5 months. So my goal for this year is I made a lot of mistakes last year, so that should be fixed for this year. And just want to be in a fight from beginning to end, not from warming up from the first couple races. Just want to be from first race to the last round. So, and I think that will put me into a good spot.
Awesome. And then real quick, what was being that you're back with Kawasaki again, was that kind of like a little bit of weight off your shoulders that you didn't have to rush around and try and find another ride?
Yeah, I mean, I have a good contract now with them, and like every year, like you get used to the bike and stuff. Like setting up the bike, like I could set up the bike from what I was in last year. So it's like every year you have a little bit of an advantage, and I think it's just gonna be keep getting better and better.
Awesome, thanks.
Yep.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, I'll go back to Christian Craig. It was a pretty hard-fought title with you and Colt in the same coast last year. What have you tried to step up? What did you learn from that? Where do you think you can be even better to maybe get it this time?
Well, that was kind of like my first time actually fighting for a championship. Like I've had race win, heat wins, and kind of battled here and there, but like never had the red plate, never been in that same position. I was 8 points back with 2 rounds left. So, that was all like learning for me. It was still new. And now that I kind of got that taste, I, tweaked some things in the off season, worked on some stuff, just things that I feel like I can improve on, that can make me more of a well-rounded rider. And I'm always known for like going fast in the heats and stuff, but when the track breaks down, that's kind of where Colt got me at one of the Houston rounds. So moving to Florida, we have different tracks every day with the weather. I felt like I learned a lot this off season, just being better with that kind of stuff, and learning when the track does break down, I can improve and get better. And so just little stuff like that, I think I'm going to improve on. And I expect to be in the same spot I was last year, and that's up front battling with whoever it is.
Thanks.
Michael Antonovich.
Well, thanks, Daniel. This one's for Michael Mosman. Michael, we've seen you on the cusp of race wins these last few years. You have a couple podium finishes to your credit. What do you need to do, or what have you worked on this offseason to eliminate those little mistakes that have taken away victory from you in the past?
Man, there's not much. Golly, there's not much I need to do. Just trust in my abilities. And the thing I've done is I've worked on my mental game, and I think that's easily going to propel me to all the results and unlocking all the skill and speed you guys see and turn it into results on the weekend. But yeah, just executing my game plan day to day and not worrying about anyone else.
You're a very thorough guy. Like, you really like to analyze everything that goes on. Now that you're another year into your pro career, have you found anything like the big aha moment or something that maybe you had never thought of before?
Yes.
Or keep that one close to the chest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep that one tight.
All right, bud. See ya.
Not going to expand on that one. Got it. David Iser.
Thanks, Daniel. Mosman, could you just answer that last question? Chris Blows, this one is for you, man. Welcome back to Supercross racing. How awesome is this? We give Reed and Brayton and all these old school dudes props for staying in it, and you're doing that. After Atlanta last year, I did not think that we would ever see you racing again. Can you go through that process and how close you were to retiring, and now you are back to Anaheim 1 again?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people didn't know if I was going to return ever, especially after that Atlanta crash. It was pretty bad, especially being life flighted, to the hospital. And last year I was kind of on the fence about retiring. I'm 34 years old now, and I've been racing Supercross since 2006. So been doing it a long time, and it's definitely kind of taken its toll. Just injuries and stuff like that. And
now I got two kids, a newborn and a 2.5-year-old. So no, just really enjoying that, and really looking forward to this season, my last year, and give it my all, and really looking forward to getting out there and kind of just really enjoying it. You get kind of caught up, during the years and in everything, and just going through the motions. But this year I'm gonna kind of really take it in and kind of just enjoy that last ride.
So is this like officially like Brayton? You're saying this is your last year of full-time racing?
Yeah, definitely. This is my last year with full-time racing, and I will always ride dirt bikes and probably go race some little one-off races and stuff like that. But as far as Supercross and motocross and all that stuff goes, yeah, this is my last year, and give it one more effort, give it my all, and like I always do, and just enjoy it on the way.
Well, welcome back, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Brian Converse.
Yeah, Brian Converse, Motocross Action. This question's for Christian Craig, and it kind of plays off what Chris just said too. You guys have kids, and you're training hard in and out every day, and you're coming into the season needing to race against guys that don't have kids. I mean, is that something that sets into your brain when you get on the track, of making that mistake and your livelihood? I mean, I know it's kind of the haunted question, but a lot of people wonder that at the same time. Does it make you pump your brakes a little bit? Does it make you just ride smarter? Can you speak to that a little bit?
No, I think if anything, it fuels my fire. It makes me want to be better and be stronger and more accomplished, like be better at racing. That's my job. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to be in the 450 class right now. I mean, that a long time ago, I'd love to be in it, but these are my circumstances. This is what I have. And I'm taking whatever I have and what deal I have and running with it. As long as I'm out on the racetrack, 250, 450, I just want to be racing. Man, I love this stuff. I love the grind leading up to it, just the training, everything about it. So yeah, this is my livelihood, and I look forward to it every day. I have 3 kids, and they're along with the ride with me. They're here with it through it all, through the good days and bad days. And man, we have fun though. It's awesome. I know these days won't last forever. So, we're just taking it all in.
Yeah, rock on. Yeah, we all see what you do with your kids. So Father of the Year award right there for you, buddy. Chris, I'm going to toss that to you too real quick. Is it about the same for you?
Yeah, it's when you have kids, it brings a whole new dynamic to life, and you are these kids, idol, and they look up to you so much. So everything you do, they replicate and they try to mimic you all the time, and you got to set a good example. So I've always gave it my all, and kids definitely make you want to do it more, and no matter what it is in life. So but it definitely gets scary at times, especially when I took that helicopter ride in Atlanta. It was like, it kind of makes you think about your kids and like what you're really doing. So it's a dangerous sport, we all know that, and it's the risk that we are willing to take and sacrifice for them.
Hold on. Thanks, guys. Thanks for answering that.
Michael Antonovich.
Thanks again, Daniel. This one will be for Carson Mumford. Carson, new bike, new team, new off-season program with Davey Millsaps and the crew of guys that you've had around these last few months. This is a big change for you. How does it feel to have a completely fresh start in a lot of ways and just a whole new potential, not a lot of old baggage or old expectations from another brand?
It really feels great. Like, I think I needed that just big change of scenery, and just had a lot of growing up to do on my own. So it's been good. I'm really looking forward to a fresh start and a season that kind of feels more right. Last year was really weird, like growing up, looking into the sport and having to race with not a lot of fans and starting not at Anaheim 1 and just weird circumstances like that. So this year it's kind of like, it is my first year. I didn't get to race that much last year. So kind of just taking that one as a wash and coming into this year to try and just surprise some people.
Thank you. This one is for Garrett Marchbanks. Garrett, you've been kind of under the radar these last few months, being based on the East Coast with the Club MX team. I know that you like kind of being unsight, unseen, and that aggression that you have too. Coming into this year, do you feel like you have a lot to prove, or is this just riding to your potential now?
We had a great off season. Honestly, just year 2 with the bike, that helped a lot. Team and I learned a lot last year. So, we had one of probably my best off seasons ever. But yeah, no, this year I feel like I was a podium guy all last year. It was a bummer I only got in the box once, but no, this year I feel like I could go for the title all year.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Revista Moto.
Hey, thank you, Daniel. Hey, Jalik, quick question for you. Can you talk a little bit about your story? You have a really compelling and unique story. Does that childhood and your background make you more resilient and stronger on the track? And when you face all these hurdles and obstacles with faster or quicker riders or different tracks, does that you rely on what you went through in as a child just to make you stronger and faster, more resilient?
I don't know. I think just what I went through when I was younger kind of just made me into who I am. I don't really know how I became the way I am or whatever, but I feel like I'm pretty mentally strong. So, I'm just grateful to be here, really. So every time I line up, I have the mindset on just having fun. So, I think that's what propelled me last year to doing well, and I think I just want to keep that same mentality and that same mindset going into this year. So,
yeah, it was really eye-opening when I heard all that about you. It was really interesting to hear that. Thanks for that answer. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Mitch Kendrick.
Hey, Garrett, is there a little bit of tape on the left hand there, or what's going on with that on the left wrist?
A little bit, nothing big. Just came up short a little bit on a jump on Monday, and just sprained it a little bit, but it's feeling 10 times better now, so we're all good. Just pushing the swelling out right now.
Okay, cool. Just curious.
Yeah, all good.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, I'll go back to Jalik Swole. Can you talk about the first time you were riding a Supercross track before your rookie season, and then what this offseason is like with 2 of them under your belt, like specifically the whoops, let's say that. How much better, how much different is the experience from the first time you had to do it to now that you're a couple of years in?
Man, Supercross it's gnarly. Like you don't find many that adapt to it right away. And everybody has to go through their get offs and their tough times with it. So I think year 1, big learning curve. Year 2, I felt a lot better, a little bit more comfortable. And this year I felt like in practice it came a lot easier than the other years. So I think it's just getting accustomed to it. I'm starting to get more and more adapted to it. And now every time I go up to a new Supercross track, nothing really feels new. I feel like I've been there, done that before. And I think that's one of the biggest keys in Supercross is just getting more comfortable. And the more and more you do stuff, the easier it tends to get. So I think year 3, obvious, it's supposed to be, a big step forward, and I feel a lot better and feel more calculated this year. And I think my goal is to really just be there and be consistent. So I think I'm capable of it, and just ready to line up, honestly.
David Iser.
All right, thanks, Daniel. This one's for Joe Shimoda. Joe, last year you lacked a little bit of confidence, but I think you had a banner year. You've earned the respect of the fans and the riders around you with your results. You told me you were holding a little bit back, from 100% riding Supercross. Do we get it all this year? Are you comfortable enough now that we're going to see your true potential in the Supercross track?
Yeah, well, last year on the space, I really said what's the reality, and I guess people liked that, and that was cool. And well, this year, as in practice, I've been doing good, riding 100% every day. There's not a one day like I would ride on 80-70%. So I'm just gonna bring my practice into racing, and everything should be there.
You've had a couple of years on Monster Energy Pro Circuit. Have you talked to Mitch Payton yet?
Not much, honestly, because I don't know. He's kind of hard to talk to.
We think that too. So it's not just you. I want to get that across. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, this next for Vince. Vince, I wonder what the over under is that you make it through 3 races without a controversy.
I think I'll be all right. Should be able to get starts and stay away from them all.
Dude, nothing but much respect for you for with Chris and even Chris, you guys are just hardcore racers. No disrespect for that. So welcome back to the 250 class. My last question of the night is for Michael Mosman. You are one of the most introspective dudes, unapologetically. I'm just wondering if that introspectiveness is, if that's even a word, is that working for you? Or are you having to turn your brain off to go faster? Are you trying to maybe not overthink everything this year?
Great question. I think I am definitely very introspective, and I just enjoy that. I think that's just a piece of my life that's kind of come and been a part of me. Turning the brain off, I think, is it's a balance, right? You got to have it on, but you got to have it off in racing, and it comes with reps. I mean, there's so many things that we do on a dirt bike that are ridiculously high level that we don't even think about. You're managing the clutch and the throttle and just right, and I don't even know a lot of times exactly where I shift, and there's just so much that's going on that's out of the mind that I think the main thing is just not necessarily not thinking, but thinking on the right things. I think it may be actually physically impossible to not think. Our brains just do it naturally, and so if you're thinking about negative things, or you're thinking about positive things, or if you're thinking about what you ate for dinner the day before, if you're thinking about what kind of form you're going to have through the whoops ahead, I think is a determining factor. And I think a lot of us, if you asked us what our best performances were, we would say that we weren't thinking at all, and it just kind of happened. But it's just it's a complex thing. What I'm going to be thinking about, I'm going to be thinking about what I'm going to be doing in the next step and the next turn and the next jump. And I think as long as I can stay present in the moment, and not as long as I think I'm going to stay present in the moment, I think it's going to be sweet. So really excited. It's going to be epic.
That answer
and
proves
also,
you cannot turn your brain off, but go ahead.
I know. Yeah, it's a thing.
Hey, but you're my breakout rider of the year. Forget your first win. You were so close last year, so good luck this year, man. Thank you.
Yeah, put your money on it.
For Vistamoto.
Hey, thank you, Daniel. Colt Nichols, 5 or 6 years ago, I saw you on a private track, and you were a privateer, if not longer. Did you ever think that long ago, or 5 or 6 years ago, you'd be a Supercross champion?
I mean, that's what you want, I wouldn't necessarily say I wouldn't have thought that, or I would have. I just wanted the opportunity to try to do that, really. And being a privateer, the handful of years you do the best you can, and you just kind of try to tackle one hurdle at a time, and get to a point where you feel like you can compete for one of those. And luckily my break was Bobby Reagan and him signing me to start racing, and a few years with injury and some ups and downs throughout the whole process. But yeah, to be at this point, and last year at Salt Lake, look back at some of those times of being a privateer and just struggling to kind of figure out where my way was in the sport, it was cool, to kind of reflect a little bit on that and just be like, wow, this has been a cool journey, and definitely not one that I thought I was going to be on, but it was just the journey that was kind of meant for me, I guess. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and kind of keeps me going a little bit. When I look back at times, I'm like, wow, we've kind of came from the trenches a little bit, but everyone has a little bit of a story, and maybe some spots where they started where they didn't want to, but for me, that's definitely what keeps me going, and keeps me wanting to be better, and trying to tackle another one of these titles is really the whole idea. And that'd be a pretty cool story to do all that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Mitch Kendrick.
Hey, we'll go back to Michael for this one. So Justin Barsha said he's been training with you and Pierce a lot. So what's that experience been like, just to be at them, or to be around them more, maybe off the track than you normally do? And then what's it like being able to ride with him and Pierce? Just, can you talk about that a little bit?
It's been really good, right? Is the obvious answer. It has been super fun. I feel like this would be best told with a story, but not one that comes to mind. Yeah, I mean, it's just epic. He rolls out, Justin shows up and he's got his dogs and every day, and his wife, and Pierce is doing his thing, and the best thing about Pierce is he'll laugh at no matter how good or bad the joke is, whether he's laughing at you, but he's laughing. And then on the track, I mean, it's been a really cool dynamic because we've all like ridden together every single day. And, training years past at Alden's, like, yeah, we would ride together, but it was like we were on the same track. And, the amount of like racecraft practice I've gotten this year of actually being close and in out, and, and it's cool. And I think, Barsha and I have developed, a pretty special bond. And, he's had some just real moments of appreciation and gratitude for, we've brought a lot of fun and back to, his preseason prep. And as it's come all under Will Hahn, I mean, it's just a machine, really. And we're all enjoying it. The camaraderie is rich. It's just a blast. And as well as, I think we're all pushing each other to new heights. And I'm getting to practice, with someone right on me. And I'm getting to practice, coming up and passing someone. And I'm getting to practice, a lot of these things. And, what's it like to hit whoops while you're getting pelted with roost? It's like, it's not something you really get. And a lot of times you show up to the race and you're like, frick, this is gnarly. But, getting a lot of reps, being able to practice that in close combat situations has been fun. Obviously, Justin's got insane, bike skill and, pretty dang good racecraft. I mean, he's a tricky one. So it's been a blast, really.
I was gonna say, do you have any crazy takeout stories from, him on you or you on him or anything?
Yeah, there's a few. I remember the first time I really, oh my gosh. All right. So it was like a kind of a muddier day, and it was before we got a new track out at Corona. And it's like this long rhythm, 2 on off, 4, 2 into the corner. And I think that it was a little bit muddy, so he hadn't hit the 4 yet. And I unlocked the 4 2 laps earlier, but it was muddy, and everyone knows Corona tracks, you got early in the morning, you got one line that's good and that's tracked in, the rest is just kind of slob. So I come inside, I just jump inside, and I'm like, well, I'm got to make this pass now because I see my opportunity. He's going to pick up on this line, but I don't want to completely blow him off this berm because it's practice. And I landed just skid, it wasn't get on the brakes. It's just skid. And I slid all the way to the top of the berm and just met him there. And then we kind of both gathered ourselves, and then went we had back-to-back whoop sections. So I'm going down the left of the whoops. He's trying so bad to get to the inside of me to put me over the next berm. And I'm trying so hard to not let him get inside. I didn't know this until later, but he actually went off the track and missed the last 3 whoops because I closed him off so much that he had no more running room. And then he regroups, gets back on the track. And then the next pass of whoops, well, I just had a super tight turn, 250. So I didn't get as good a drive. So then he came, and then I wasn't going to close off the next corner because it just wasn't the right thing to do. And then he had a better drive, and yeah, he put me over the next berm. It's just hilarious. And then I'm pretty sure Pierce was behind me, and then Pierce was pressuring him or something. And then I got back on the track, caught Pierce, and hit him. And it was an epic. Yeah, it's just just carnage. So that's this little story to give you a little window into some of the TLD antics.
Yeah, I bet having a feisty Barsha on your tail makes you faster every day.
No kidding. And to learn how to deal with pressure, I think I'm more equipped to do that than any years previous.
Mosey, that was crazy. I love that stuff.
That was crazy?
I love that.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, have you got any more cool stories like that?
Golly, I'm I'm confused now. You guys messing with me, or you guys? I mean,
I'm
Jeez.
good. I don't have anything else to do today, so I'd like to hear another story. I don't know about the other boys, but hey, I'll see
Yeah,
you
well.
if you want to tell us another one.
Another.
Dude, we're all ears. We're all ears. Yeah, I'm waiting on you, Mosey. Go. Hey, actually, give us a fun fact. Go.
Golly, a fun fact, man, right on the spot.
Yeah, you're supposed to have these on.
Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but like the Instagrams has kind of been like non-existent. You know, fun facts are just.
Yeah,
like,
I wondered what happened to that. Actually, glad you brought that up.
Fun fact.
The fun fact is your story is too long a little bit.
My stories are too long. Man, golly, you guys
Just
are
say
tough
golly
critics, man.
time. That's 4 gollies tonight.
Yeah.
You're awesome, Mike.
Yeah, I know. It's a
Fun
new
fact.
thing.
Michael got a fun fact.
Here's a fun fact. Fun fact. I joined a band. Had two gigs. No big deal.
What instrument? What are you playing?
There you go.
Could you elaborate on that with a story?
Piano. I played piano. It was actually at Panic Rev Christian riding camp. Anyways, but yeah, I played the keys. We crushed it. Packed house. No big deal.
How long have you been playing piano for?
Since COVID. Learned on COVID.
Oh, okay. I went to school for music, so that's I played
go.
piano for 25 years. That's cool.
Epic. Cool. Well, I'll keep going, but I feel like this is not the Michael Mosman show.
Do you have a piano with you that you could play us a song by chance or no?
You know what? It's actually, on the team bus, so I don't have it right here, unfortunately.
Michael, do you like Richard Marks?
Never heard of her.
Okay. All right. Justin Schuler.
Yeah, but I'll look it up. I don't know. Never heard of it.
Oh man,
it's not an it, but go ahead, Justin.
I'm gonna have to follow up with this now. Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, Justin Schuler, kicking the tires. Hunter, I got a question for you. Obviously, the crash with your brother, that was pretty recent. So this whole change for you was pretty recent, unlike for some of the others where they kind of planned for going West Coast, you getting that really last minute call because you were obviously planning to race in a month or two. Here you are, you're racing on Saturday. Well, first tell us exactly, how did you find out, were you at the track when your brother crashed or did you get a call? And then second off, what's that like for you mentally and physically to just go from practice sessions to now race mode in just a couple days?
Yeah, so I seen Jet crash and he didn't really move, and I went over and seen if he was okay, and we kind of came out to California anyway. I was planning on coming out here. We had our media stuff to do, and then it was actually Monday that the decision was made, just testing out, and he just wasn't feeling it. So that was kind of when the decision was made, and yeah, it's cool. It's like I said before, it's not a massive difference for myself, just to because I'm ready, so I'm just happy to race.
Two more questions. Brian Converse and then Jason Wygant will close with you.
Yeah, thanks. This is a question for Michael Mosman, which may lead to a story, but we'll try to play it safe. Michael, so you ride with probably one of the gnarliest guys out there, Justin Barsha, and he's got a pretty aggressive style. Riding with him, day in and day out on the practice tracks, has some of that aggressiveness, you think, kind of blended into your style?
Blended in, like you're not going to see me revving it like he does. Like that's just never been my style. I think I get a little bit more aggressive every year, but everyone's got their own path, and his style's his style, my style's my style. I think more often he'll make comments like just wishing, because I'm like ultra smooth and he wishes he had that, and he's getting a lot more of that, but I'm not necessarily trying to be more aggressive. I think a lot of the ticket for him is like calming down, and he's found a lot of that, and but I'm not necessarily sure, like I'm not like, oh man, I just got to get more aggro. But I will say I had some conversations with him about like, all right, so like when you go to like pass someone, like how do you, and I learned a couple things. So that's just, just to better execute it. Cause I feel like I had some aggressive passes last year that just were, not perfectly executed. There's like a good executed aggressive pass, and there's like a less, just like, what the heck are you doing? So I had a couple of those.
Right on. Thanks.
Michael, follow up. Any chance of aggressive riding with, let's see, Jalik, Hunter, Joe? Any of those three maybe that jumped in a
Our
little?
team, our like 3 manufacturer teams motto is one team, one goal, I think. So like he can't get aggressive with me because we're
So never mind Jalik, but Hunter
yeah,
and Joe.
I said just exclude me out of that, but he can be aggressive with everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know why he'd want to be aggressive with me because I like listening to his stories. So I mean, I wouldn't see the.
Complimented his story. So Mosey, you take that into play, okay? I actually compliment.
I got you, dog. No, you know what? I mean, we're gonna ride, and we're gonna ride to win, and that's that. And one of the things I love about the 3 guys you mentioned is, whether they like me or not, I don't know. Actually, Jalik, we're cool. And Hunter seems cool too, but I don't know Joe very well. Yeah, I think at one point we were cool. I don't know where we're at, but anyways, whether they like me or not, like, I think we can ride aggressive, and I'm not gonna have any hard feelings one way or another. So it's that goes for everyone on the field. So it's just
Thanks,
just
Michael.
fun.
I like you too, and Joe's cool with me, so I guess that makes him cool with you too.
So
Really?
am I cool
by
or not?
association? Who's cool?
Am I
Joe?
cool
I
or
don't
not?
know. Are you cool? I mean, I don't know. We like
I
to
don't
really
know.
talk, man.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I race clean, but you touch me, I touch you.
Yeah, I mean, I try to race clean too. So
yeah,
I feel like Moseman is like a secret assassin.
Secret assassin. Well, I got
Why'd you jump into
I
this,
got made
Chris?
fun of in my earlier
You're
years
safe.
as like I couldn't touch a fly, like I wouldn't hurt a fly. So then I like rebelled against that, and now I think I've like dialed it back from that to like just be good at passing instead of being aggressive for aggressiveness sake,
Yeah. Moseman kind of reminds me of Andrew Short. He's like the nice guy in the pits, put on a nice smile, but he will take you out for like last place.
I mean, hey man, you can feel how you feel.
I wouldn't go that far, but I'm just saying. I still like you,
Aggressive.
Michael.
Speaking of aggressive, Vince,
I'm gonna go
how we
ahead and
doing?
mute now.
We're
Like,
good.
come on. We're gonna have some
12 years,
fun.
we're good. Last one for Jason Wygant.
Hey, Hunter Lawrence, I don't know if you practice your takeouts at the track. I don't know if you have a long story about it, but you do get to ride with the 450 Supercross champ, right? What's that experience been like? Do you take each other out? What's it like?
No, we don't really practice takeouts too often. It's not that's not something we want to have to use. If ideally you pass a guy clean, that's not the first move when you get behind someone is to clean their clock. So yeah, we just we do our hard work. We have fun in between the sessions, talk smack, and it's good. It's good having Coop there. It's just a good group of people. So yeah, it's can't complain about much. That's for sure.
I think people would assume someone in the 250 class is just learning from him, but does it work both ways? Do you think there's things that you're doing that he's picking your brain about also?
Yeah, for sure. It's there's things we do, like it's more little things. Obviously he's a 2-time Supercross champ, so it's not like he's not like, oh damn, you did the triple or whatever it is. So it's just kind of little things with technique. Maybe it's super minor stuff. At the level we are now, we're not looking for 5%, 10%. We're literally looking for 0.5%. 1% is a big find. Because it's so tight. So
I'm going to squeeze one in here because it's not 8 o'clock yet. Moseman. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go to Mumford. Talk about Davey Millsaps. Do you have any stories about working with him and that crew that you're training with? I think you've heard some funny stuff before. So what's that been like?
Nothing too crazy on the stories, but we've definitely been having a good time. And me and Derek and A-Ray have definitely been putting in a lot of work, and we do feel really good. And I think we're all just really excited to race. I know I am, and I'm definitely feeling the best I ever have. So coming into this year and just ready to go.
All right, guys. That was a fun one. Thank you, guys. Good luck Saturday. We'll see you on the track. Have a good night.